Hello? Hello? Can you hear me now?
Good morning, officer. Was I speeding when you pulled me over? I thought I was being very careful.
I didn't pull you over for speeding. I pulled you over because you were talking on a cell phone while driving.
For talking on the phone? Is that a problem? My wife just called to remind me about an appointment when I get back from my business trip.
Sir, using a handheld device while driving is illegal in this state. I can see from your plates that you're from out of town, so I'll let you go with just a warning this time. But, sir, next time, just check the law before your trip. Maybe you should buy a hands-free device if you do a lot of driving for business.
I will do that, officer. In fact, I was thinking about buying a Bluetooth earpiece when I bought my phone. I will definitely get one as soon as I get home. Thanks.
By the way, I hope you weren't texting when I pulled you over. Texting while driving is even more dangerous than talking.
The easy way.
Uh-oh.
That sounds like trouble. What happened?
I was answering an email and I hit reply all.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that my email reply said, I don't want to go to this meeting, I want to go to lunch.
Ugh! Were you thinking that the email would just go to your friend?
Yes. I wasn't reading the other names on the list, so I didn't see that the boss was also on the list.
Well, you really need to be careful about sending email. Once you hit send, it's gone. You can't get it back.
I know. And even if the email comes from a friend, I have to remember that there are other people on the list too. The boss sent me a reply. Is it your lunchtime, Alan?
Well, I don't think you'll get fired over an email that says you want to go to lunch, but maybe you should explain to your boss that you were only kidding. It was just a little joke about going to lunch instead of going to the meeting. Was he wondering why you were so hungry?
No. He wasn't wondering why I was hungry. I think he was wondering why he hired me in the first place.
The perfect job.
Hey, Alan, look at you reading the newspaper. But how come you're reading the classifieds? Don't you usually prefer the comics?
Very funny. And anyway, I already finished reading the comics. Now I'm looking for a new job.
No kidding. Uh-oh. Is there a problem at work?
I guess you could say that. I've worked at that fast food joint for 2 years now doing the same old stuff, and it's time for a change. Besides, I've eaten way too many of their burgers, and I can't fit into any of my pants.
Well, I can understand wanting to make a change. And after all, you speak 2 languages fluently. There are plenty of companies that have great jobs for people who are bilingual. Not too many Americans speak 2 languages. With world economies so connected, companies need to have people who can communicate in another language as well as English.
That's exactly what I think. I know it's a big plus to be bilingual these days. And I think if I can find a job with a better salary, I'll be able to buy that new car I really want.
Yeah. And if you have that new car, maybe you'll finally be able to convince Margaret to go out with you.
Exactly. I've had a crush on her for ages.
Paperwork.
Hey, Leah, I could use an extra pair of eyes. Would you mind looking this over for me?
Sure. What is it?
My resume. Instead of looking for something new, I've decided to apply to be a supervisor at the place where I work now, and I really want to make a good impression.
Wow. And I can see you spent a lot of time preparing this resume.
Yeah, I've thought about that supervisor job all weekend, and I decided I just have to give it a shot.
Good for you. You have some great experience, and you'll be a perfect fit for that position.
That's what I was thinking too. Some of the things I've already accomplished in my job show that I could really handle the extra responsibilities. I think if I just get an interview with the boss, I'll be able to sell myself. And if I get the job, I'll be thrilled. It's exactly what I've been looking for.
I'm sure they'll want a reference. Have you thought about whom you're going to ask?
Yes, my supervisor now has already said he'll give me a great reference. And just to be sure I get plenty of support, I've also called Mrs. Robinson from the James Rinsky Company. That's the company where I used to work when I first arrived in the United States. She was my supervisor.
Great idea. I remember that she really liked you and thought you were one of the best workers on her team. But I don't remember why you left that job. What happened?
The company had to downsize, and there was a big layoff. I was in the last group that they laid off. They eliminated my position. I know Mrs. Robinson felt really bad when she had to let me go. She said she would be happy to help me any way she could with finding a new job.
Sounds like she'll be a perfect reference. I'm sure she'll be really happy to give you a great recommendation. Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need luck. And a resume with no mistakes.
Before.
Hey, guess what? I got the call.
The call? What are you talking about? What call?
I got a call about that job I wanted, remember? You helped me with my resume. It's the supervisor position, and I've got an interview tomorrow. Wow. If I get this, it'll be a real feather in my cap. I'm pretty excited.
That's awesome, Alan. And you've worked there for quite a while, so you've already got your foot in the door. Where's the interview?
It's at the head office.
Oh boy, where on earth is that?
Oh, it's somewhere down Industrial Road. I have the address written down somewhere. I have a pretty good idea of where the office is.
A pretty good idea? You'd better make sure you know exactly where it is. Industrial Road is pretty long, and there are a lot of cul-de-sacs. Whatever you do, you can't be late. You have only one chance to make a good first impression, and you'll blow it if the interviewer has to wait for you. Being late will not help you nail the job.
Yeah, I thought of that. I think I'll drive down to the office tonight and check it out. I'll be more confident in the morning if I know exactly where I'm going and how long it will take to get there.
Good plan. Don't forget to leave extra time for traffic in the morning. Have you decided what you're going to wear?
I think the company is pretty casual, so I thought I might wear my new jeans. And I bought a new pair of sneakers last week. What do you think?
Ach, no way! If this is a supervisor job, you may need to dress a bit more upscale. Even if jeans are okay on the job, I think you should wear some other pants to the interview. I think you should even wear a suit jacket if you have one. And how about a tie? Even if it's a casual place, you will look very professional to the interviewer.
Okay. So, I guess that means no sneakers, too. Well, the good news is that if I don't get this job, maybe I can get a job as a fashion model.
Ha ha! Well, then at least you won't have to worry about clothes.
During.
It's nice to meet you, Alan. I see that you've been with our company for a while now, haven't you? Why are you interested in this supervisor position?
Well, I've really enjoyed my job so far, but I feel ready to take on more responsibilities. I think I have a lot to offer the company.
Have you ever had any supervisory experience?
Well, when my supervisor has a day off, he asks me to help manage the restaurant. That includes supervising the other workers, answering any questions they have, making sure they get their breaks, responsibilities like that.
Yes, your supervisor speaks very highly of you in his letter of recommendation. Well, Alan, can you think of a time when there was a problem you had to resolve when you were in charge? And tell us how you managed the situation.
Well, I can't say I've ever had any problems with my coworkers. But I guess sometimes, if an order wasn't exactly right, a customer might get angry and nasty. I just made sure that I stayed calm. I listened politely to his or her complaint, and I redid the order. I always apologized for the mix-up. A lot of times I'd throw in a coupon to show goodwill. That usually seemed to do the trick.
Customers can sometimes be tricky. Sounds like you handled those situations very well. It's really important to us that our supervisor is able to deal in a friendly way with customer problems. You probably also know that we're doing more and more work on the computer. Keeping spreadsheets is an important part of the job. How are your computer skills? Are you familiar with Excel?
I do use my home computer a lot, but I haven't needed to use Excel. I'm pretty good at figuring out computer stuff, and I catch on pretty quickly, so I'm sure I can get up to speed with that program. No problem.
Great. Well, do you have any questions for me?
Yes. I know that the company is growing and opening new locations in different cities. If I'm offered the job, where will I be based?
Good question. I am glad you reminded me. The position is open in the Eldred location, but we really need someone who can be flexible. We'll want this person to fill in at our other restaurants when another supervisor is on vacation. Would you be able to do that?
Absolutely. I'd really enjoy getting to know different locations.
Great. Well, Alan, thank you for your time. We'll be in touch as soon as we make a decision.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
After.
Hey, Alan, did you get that supervisor's job?
I don't know. I haven't heard anything yet, and it's been 10 days now.
Don't worry. Sometimes it can take ages before you hear anything. How do you think it went?
I think it went okay. I seem to have most of the qualities they were looking for. The only thing is, I haven't had much experience with Excel, and that's what they use for all their reports.
Well, that's something you can learn. It's actually pretty easy to work with. I can show you sometime if you'd like. I use it all the time in my job.
Thanks. I'll take you up on that if they offer me the job.
By the way, did you wear your sneakers and jeans?
No, I took your advice and wore a jacket and tie. Hey, maybe they didn't like my tie.